your blessings on every person, every family represented today. Lord, that your grace would just be known, be tangible in their lives. We bless you in Jesus' name.
So I know it says up there it's a missions moment, but I'm here, so it's not going to be a moment. It's going to be a little bit longer. Missions is, when you hear missions, a lot of people think missions is worldwide. And it is, but it's also local. Fortunately, our church has been blessed to be able to do both, and you guys have very much been a part of doing both, and I continue to help do both. But this Sunday, we're going to look at the international portion of the missions that the church has done. So to get started, we have the scripture of verse 2 we're basing the service off of. And it is, "And how are they to proclaim Jesus is Christ, Savior and Lord, unless they are sent? As it is written, how beautiful are the feet of those who bring the good news." Romans 10:15. So you guys were blessed to send some of us to Guatemala, Guate for short, and some of the leaders of the team like to call it the Guate Gang just to make things rhyme and have fun. So that's kind of where that's at. So the first part of anything of a trip is preparation and also the fun of fundraising. And part of fundraising really is getting to know the team. So there were supposed to be 15 people on this trip, and unfortunately due to illness, only 13 were able to go, but we still had fun, and the preparation was as follows. We spent, after we came back, a Valentine's Day goodies and bake sale that you guys all were able to partake in and hopefully enjoy. Then we also, during Hillbilly Days, did selling of the drinks and other Guatemala items we had brought back. And then there was a made-from-scratch pie sale and the holiday auction, which was the last one that we did right before Thanksgiving and Christmas to help. There was also a yard sale we did in July, and occasionally we would help take in the funds from the parking lot for the app. We alternated that with the youth group for support. So just a bunch of fundraisings were done. We had a good time doing it, caused a lot of problems, but enjoyed it at the same time. So after that, then there's also the donations and asking for stuff, and different groups were involved in this. They arranged from the one of the local high schools collecting coloring books to the women's Bible study helping collect crayons. We asked people for fundraising donations for the holiday event and the Valentine's Day goodies. There was the feminine hygiene kit that one of the clubs at the high school also helped put together to help the younger girls in Guatemala. So, and then lots of toys and shoes. I think we sent enough shoes to outfit at least part of the country. But of course, they grow so fast, so it all works. So lots of different donations that were given from different areas, different groups. We all appreciate it because they all went to great use. So then we had to, now that we got all the stuff donated, now we have to pack it. So this is one thing of the packing. So one house part of the room got all the clothing that they had to sort into sizes and try to pack. Another room was all about packing the shoes and the balls. 30 soccer balls were donated? I don't know, we had a whole bunch. We felt it as we were blowing them up with the pumps. Fortunately, we didn't have to use our lungs to do that one. We also had household items that we were going to bless the two families with for the homes we were building, so everything had to be sorted. Everything had to be under the 50 pounds because Jennifer is kind of a stickler on she's not paying extra money for good stewardship of money, so they all have to be under 50. And then, let's see, what else? And then construction items were also packed. So that's kind of the preparation that went on. So the next part is the Catalyst Resources International, which is the group that we went with. For short, CRI has been started in Guatemala about 20 years ago, I think. Don't quote me on the number. By Fontaine Green and his wife Paula. They have grown tremendously through the years that they are now doing multiple outreach portions of it. So one aspect is the building of the houses and helping find families who have property in their deed but don't have a house, and helping them build something more sustainable. Another portion is the outreach for the churches and helping plant churches. Another one is the Mimi's House, which is an orphanage that they help with kids under 7, I think it is, but it might be a little bit higher, but no teenagers were there, as well as the feeding program. So CRI has several employees, more than 10 I know, but these are some of the employees for the construction that they employ full-time to help build the houses. So these were some that were helping us build our house. They also have Access Church, which is it's a bilingual church there in Guatemala. So they're on their property going on in English, and the sermon was in English for those expatriates. And then here is one of the new church plants that CRI has helped plant that started a couple weeks after we left last year. And so it's nice to know that it's going strong and is about 30 to 40 within a year. So that's Santa Maria Jesus church plant that we were at. So we ended up, with your blessings, able to do 2 houses. Over the time since CRI started, they've had 9,566 volunteers. They've hosted 524 teams. They've built 682 homes. They've bought 1,345 beds, 716 stoves, 599 water filters so that health and pure water is available for less illness of the families, and was able to create 118 bathrooms versus the outhouses they have otherwise. Also, as I said, the orphanage is called Mimi's House, is cared so far up to 113 children. Up to 15 children at a time are able to stay in the house. Some are there for short term until their family members are found, or they are reunited with other siblings at other orphanages, and then it's the decision of the government which orphanage the siblings are placed in. Others are there long term, and there is options to sponsor those children. They also do sponsoring of the children in a feeding program, where they have sent 325 million meals to the families. So last year we were able to help pack. This year we are so packed in stuff that we were not able to do this. But it is a mixture of soy and corn and vitamin mix and rice to create a nutritious meal that they can have at least twice a week. Now this shouldn't be my part. This should really be Keith's part. Keith almost cried when he found out we might not have Taco Tuesday, but then he found out it was a joke played by somebody here in the States, and so he was very happy. He can tell more about it while he's doing his talk. I've never seen a man almost cry. Team excursions, there's always a fun day for you to get out and experience the country outside of the town that you've been building work in, and so we're able to go to the far, that would be the far west portion or east portion of the country, to Rio Dulce, and to experience more of a tropical forest feel, although it was still cold and rainy when we were there. So I will pass the rest off to Keith.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning. And I'd like to thank you all for supporting us with the funds to do the construction and allowing us to go on this mission trip. Well, you see the little tin building there? that was the house that our family lived in. And so it's just got a dirt floor. I mean, that's just all they had. So with the funds you all give us, was able to build a new house, or 2 new houses. You got a concrete floor, block wall 3 foot up. It's just a really basic stick-built house that anybody can come build. If you can't start your nail, we will start them for you. Right, Ange? But it's, there's just a lot for everybody to do there. You think you can't help when you go on one of these mission trips? Everybody can help.
You can always pull wood.
You can pull wood, you can carry wood. You can stop a hammer with your head, right, Ange? I actually hit one of our kids with a hammer too. So, but Sarah was there with us to take care of some of the injuries. Sorry. But, and there's the stove we help fund in the bathroom. The stove is fed with corn because it's easier for everybody to pack. It burns real good. The toilets is, I guess it's a life-changing experience for them because all they had was just you have to go find a place to go to the bathroom actually when you're there. We provide the toilets, and there's a shower to the left if you look. And we've provided the big tubs for them to get the water. It's not actual shower, it's just for the place for the water to drain, them to be inside. And Sarah on these had found, what were they, solar lights? Where did you find them?
They were solar lights.
We found solar lights, which was able to put each one, light in each room. And power there is very expensive, like not as expensive here, but was able to give them a nice home to live in. Then after we built the homes, as you can see, we was able to put the beds, the tables, the food, the cross that everybody signed. You can see the cross in the back of the picture there. And this is your outside, you're looking over your house, which you don't have the lights hung up on them yet.
Hi, I'm Angela. I'm going to talk about Santa Maria de Jesus, which is the community where CRI plants homes and churches, and that is the focus community for CRI where we did our work. Look at this beautiful view. Santa Maria de Jesus, you can see 3 volcanoes from there. That is the view from the yard of the home that we built. Look at that, straight from the porch. From the front porch. I mean, that's $1 million view, isn't it? That is volcano agua, which means water. And over to the side, you can also see Pacaya and Fuego. And Fuego means fire, and it would send a poof of smoke about every 12 to 15 minutes. So quite interesting. For them, it's just what they're used to. For us, it's unbelievable to look at every day. The elevation is 6,790 feet, so we're at quite a high elevation. This is a look at the streets of Santa Maria de Jesus. About 21,000 people live there. The temperature year-round is about 68 to 72 during the day, year-round. Beautiful weather. Not a lot of rain, but it's called eternal spring. The median age for this town is 18 years old. A lot of children, so you can tell just with the median age that probably a lot of work needs to be done to help with the longevity of the population. Most of the people, about 98%, are indigenous Mayan people. So you will see most of the women wearing traditional clothing. This is a look at the back from the home that we built. If you notice, there are mountains, and there's a lot of agriculture on the mountains. In place of, there's flat lands for agriculture, but they used every bit of the property they could to plant corn, black beans, coffee, and other vegetables. A lot of people in that community are either artisans and they go into Antigua and work, or they are farmers, fruit pickers, and so forth. The average income, I looked this up, is $300 to $400 a month, and that's average because the family that we worked for last year, his average income per week was about $20. And so, so the people that we are serving typically make much less than that. And you know, a perspective is everything. How often do we just throw $20 away, either putting it in the offering or spending it on Starbucks or something like that? And that's a weekly salary for a lot of these people. This is our group, and we're at the church that was planted by CRI. This church, like Sarah said, it was planted and began almost right at a year ago. An amazing story here. The pastor of that church, when he was a teenager, his family received a home from CRI, and it changed his life. And now he is giving back, and he is employed by CRI, and he is preaching at that church. And he told the story of how when they started, they would sit there weeks at a time and nobody would show up. And they kept going, and they kept going. And it was, they were up against so much in that church, and they thought about even closing the doors, but they decided to stick with it, and now they're up to about 30 people. And so such a praise that they have stuck through it, and they're seeing it through. These are the families that received the homes. As you can see, rather large families. And Keith showed you the homes that they lived in. So we'd have 5 or 6 living in a small home with dirt floors. And so to provide a 2-bedroom home with where they could get fresh water and they could live in a clean home and something to be proud of is just life-changing. And again, some perspective. Just put yourself in the place of these families. If you were to have to receive a home with no house payment, think about how much we work for a house payment. So no house payment. They would provide a month worth of food for you, some of your salary, and just give that to you. How life-changing that could be. And so with the help that you all gave to our group, we were able to change the lives of 2 families, totally change their lives. Last year, we built one home for the Gomez family, and we got to see them again, and their lives are just so much better. They're able to focus on their families more, and they're keeping their home so clean, and they're proud of it. And the kids aren't made fun of for being the poorest people on the street. You know, it does change lives, the things that you all are doing with your help. And here's the Gomez family again. We got to see them. Another group painted their home for them. We were able to provide the money to do that. We painted the home, and we got to see them, and they're so happy to see us. And they just blessed us as much as we have been able to bless them.
Hi, good morning. My name is Lathan Bowling. I went on the mission trip. Mimi's House, as Sarah mentioned, is a part of CRI. Works in association, and they're an orphanage. They're from newborns all the way up until grade school, 4th, 5th grade, 7, 8 years old. And we were able to do a lot. We brought a lot of clothes, a lot of shoes. The facilities are really great. Like, it's, a big house. Their kids are really taken care of. It's just a really great place. You could, going from never experiencing the outside, another country like this, and then seeing such like a powerful and great place. It really just shines a light and shows you that there is greatness in other places of the world, and there are fantastic opportunities for people to be taken care of. And CRI and Mimi's Place, they're a great organization. Guatemala is one of 2 countries that is not allowed to, that the U.S. is not allowed to adopt from because of policy and a lot of political stuff. But it's really sad whenever you go there and you feel this connection with these young children, and you can't take them. And there were two people on this trip that experienced this kind of connection. Me and Lori met this 10-month-old. His name was David, and he's pictured up there. We took one of our excursion days was to just go and meet the children and spend some time with them. And this was baby David. We were feeding him. This was lunchtime. This was the littlest one. That's baby Maria. And I'm not sure. Kendra? Yeah, and that's Kendra. And this is baby David. Nate, he's not able to join us today. He really found Mateo, and they really connected too. And Chase is with, I'm not sure off the top of my head, but there's a lot of connections that are just built, and it's really, it's just really disappointing because you want to provide more opportunities for these young kids, and we can't. And yeah, more. We spent a lot of time. We actually went twice, and we weren't even planning to with them. So we fed them their dinner one night, and we fed them their breakfast the next day. And it was really tough to say goodbye for the final time.
I want to start out by saying I have laryngitis. So my name is Lori Moore. I'm a teacher at Pike Central. I work with Angela. So a little bit about me. I am not super duper outgoing. If it involves stepping outside of my comfort zone or trying something new, hey, you can get me out. But Angela, she approached me and she was like, hey, so we are going on this trip to Guatemala and you should go. And I was like, you're crazy. But she warned me, she told me like, no, you'll love it. You'll love it. And she talked to me through my fears, which I'll talk about a little bit here soon. But she talked to me about my fears. And I don't know what was wrong with me one day on lunch, but I said, okay, I'll do it. So I decided to do it. And like I said, she had to kind of talk me off the ledge a few times because me personally, like I said, I'm not one to take risks. Not to get immediately personal, but one of my big issues is I've always struggled with my weight. It has held me back from experiencing life. I've turned down trips because I didn't want to be the slow one in the pack. I've denied going places in the U.S. because I didn't want to stand out, because I did not want my physical appearance to be immediately obvious, like, oh, she's struggling. That's embarrassing to me. And she told me, like, do not worry about this. You can do what you can, and we will take care of you. And she said, anyone can do it. I was like, okay, whatever. I don't think you're just buttering me up, but I went. I also struggle with anxiety. I had never been on a plane. I had never been out of the country. The farthest I've been, I live in Grundy. This is an excursion for me. So going to Lexington, getting on a plane twice in one day, they were like, okay, take your medicine now, okay? Because we're about to get on the plane. So I got on the plane, left the country. Keith actually recorded me as we were taking off, because you'd think I was about to die. But I went, and the plane was scary. I did it. It was, once I got back, I was like, yeah, that was fine. I had no issues with that. I don't know what you're talking about. So whenever we got there, it was mostly a lot of dreading at first. Like, oh God, I don't know what I've got myself into. I don't know if I can do this. What have I done? So, like I said, I'm a teacher. One of the things I tell my students all the time is discomfort or being uncomfortable, for the most part, is usually good for you. Because discomfort makes us challenge our perspectives, makes us think about, why are we uncomfortable? What are our beliefs? Why are our beliefs being challenged? Why is our worldview being challenged? Again, discomfort is good for you. And then it came time for me to practice what I preach. And I did not like that discomfort at first. So, like I said, no construction experience. Obviously, I don't know what I'm doing. And they told me I could do this. I went there. The first day, I was exhausted. But I did what I could. I helped build walls, a nail here and there. Again, I did what I could, holding walls. So if you are someone who feels like you cannot do this, I guarantee you that there is something that you can do, okay? Second day, I got my courage up. I was feeling better, less anxious, and I was doing good. And then suddenly I got sawdust in my eye. So that's the grin and bear it portion. But I did it. We did all 3 days. I helped with finding stuff at Walmart to help kind of decorate and provide some of the things you don't really think about for these houses. Again, I helped with building until I got sawdust in my eye. Because I wasn't super helpful at the construction site, I tried to find other ways to be useful. So whenever we were putting together packs of like clothing, feminine products, toys, things like that, I tried to spend a lot of my effort there. Again, if you can't do the physical stuff, or you feel like you can't, you feel like, I'm too out of shape, I'm too old, my knee hurts, I promise you there will be something for you. You just have to step out there. And one of the things that we did every day that really helped me to be reflective, I'm sorry, that picture there, that is us going into the village on the first day. Again, I thought it would be really difficult. But, we do what we can. We take our breaks when we need to. That's me after getting sawdust in my eye. It was okay in the end. There's me building a wall, and Lathan helped me a lot. I did the low nails, he did the high nails, and together we did it. And this is after we kind of decorated the house, and I loved, it was like playing The Sims. You get to decorate the house, so that was really fun. And this is us leaving. But back to what I was saying, one of the things that we would do every day is, what are our highs and lows of the day? And I think on the last day, we did, now what? So we've done this, now what? And as a teacher, I knew a lot of them were complaining that question, it doesn't make sense. And as a teacher, I knew what she was doing. Angela asked it. And I know what she was doing. So now what? We built a house. Now what? And what I said was, this experience for me has been like a personal milestone. I've left the country. I have helped build a house. Telling my parents that was like, are you sure? Did you dream it? So I left the country. I helped build a house. I traveled to Guatemala. I got to use my broken Spanish. And I remember the now what was, I told her, I said, this has been a milestone experience for me. And I've been so uncomfortable. But I'd like to be more uncomfortable. Because this has been transformative. And I'm going back next year. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, guys.
All right, I will try to keep this brief, but it's difficult. From a parent's point of view, if you'll go to the next slide, those five people on the left plus Vivian are kind of my kids on the trip. Our son Carter and his girlfriend Gracie and Gracie's brother decided to go on the trip with us, and then I'm Lori's school mom, so of course, my school daughter and her boyfriend went, and then Vivian, who is Guy and Jennifer's granddaughter. And just to see everything through their eyes was an immense blessing. To see Lori become uncomfortable and make it through, and to see them fall in love with a little boy, and then Lathan start looking for grad school so he can move to Guatemala so he could be with this baby. It's just something that really touched my heart. Vivian, who worked harder than the rest of us combined. And then Carter, our son, who Carter is such a focused person, and he's so focused on his work and the next best thing in his work, and it helped him to realize that that's not what it's all about. A lot of times in life, it's not about the next promotion. It's about stopping and realizing that I need to give back as much as I give. And so for him, that was transformative. And then I want to talk about Nate and Gracie. Gracie is Carter's girlfriend, and they both were baptized on this trip. When we went to Access Church, Nate and Gracie grew up in a home with as pastors' kids, and I won't get into it, but there was a lot of hurt in their lives, and when we were there, it was just years of hurt were able to be released, and they decided to restart their faith walk and become the leaders in their homes and their faith walk. And they both were baptized. And to see both of them in their transformation on this trip was something that I will never forget. Nate is 17 years old, and though he's, when he first started the trip, I'm like, he's a wild one. And but he took in every moment, and he cherished everything. He fell in love with the little boy Mateo, and cried so much when he had to leave Mateo. And then he cried when he was baptized, and he cried every time we prayed, and he prayed with people. And I think this has changed his life, and I'm so thankful. So Greta, who is Nate and Gracie's mom, shared a video that I'm going to show you next, and then Nate and Gracie are going to talk on video, and then we're going to show a longer video, and I'm sorry, we're going to go over today if you're okay with that, but we think it's worth it. So I'm going to turn it over to the videos now.
Hi everyone, my name is Greta Conley, and I am the mom of Nate and Gracie Holmes, who journeyed on the trip to Guatemala with the Lockharts and their wonderful family, and I'm so thankful for the opportunity they had to join your team serving and blessing the community of Guatemala and the families there. There's a lot of things in life that, as teenagers, is hard for them to understand how many blessings they really have when they're living in the United States. And as adults even, we take a lot of things for granted, what we have and what we're blessed with. And I wanted Nate and Gracie to have the opportunity to see that there is other parts of the world that are not as blessed as we are in America. And I wanted this to change their life. I wanted them to be blessed by serving others. I wanted them to know what it was like to serve others and to serve God. And I'm so thankful. As a mom, there is nothing more I could have asked for. I prayed that their lives would be changed, and it was. And I'm so very, very thankful that God blessed them in many ways. They were baptized while they were there, and Carter and his family was able to reach me on the phone so I could watch. And it was actually funny. I was in JCPenney shopping for a work trip that I needed to go on, and I was sitting in the dressing room and was able to watch my children be baptized. And I will never forget it. It was unbelievable. It was amazing. And I'm so thankful that this trip changed their lives. And I'm thankful for the Lockharts and their family and your church for supporting this group as they traveled to Guatemala, and they were able to bless the community and the families there. So thank you so much for the support and the love and the prayers that you gave not only my children, but the team as they traveled and they served the community. Thank you, and God bless.
Hello, my name is Carter. I used to go to the Pikeville United Methodist Church. My parents are Keith and Angela Lockhart. This is my girlfriend.
Gracie. I'm 20 and I brought my brother with me, Nate. He is 17. And we went on the mission trip to Guatemala.
What was your favorite part?
My favorite part is getting baptized. And also helping the community there and seeing the children.
My favorite part was honestly building the house was a lot of fun, but then giving the houses to the family and seeing how those going to change their lives. And then I also really liked the little jungle trip that we had, staying down there. That was really fun.
That was really nice. Yeah, a couple of days we stayed down there and it was gorgeous. Yeah.
Well, we hope you all come next year.
Yes, we had an amazing time.
watch when things go south in life sometimes.
El río pues susurra mentiras a veces en nuestras vidas.
But our God is a God of love and truth.
Pero Él es un Dios de amor y de verdad.
And He pours out a great and mighty and powerful love that you cannot contain.
Y Él imparte un amor que no podemos contener.
And it is His mercy and grace
Sus misericordias y gracias
that speaks into your life
que
Blessed are your feet because they brought good news. Bless you guys. If you would stand with us and we will sing our closing hymn. And we'll understand it better by and by. And please greet.
Before we sing, just a couple of things, because nobody said anything. Pastor is still in the hospital in Louisville. He'll probably be there for a few more days, but he is improving, is the word that I've received. Not from him, but from somebody else. But anyway, the other thing, John and Cheryl Davis. John had surgery, John is home. He is doing well, but she is sick now. So he cannot walk up steps or anything, so they're limited. I wanted to let you know about that. Please pray for them. Also, Steve Gillen, we had the prayer request on him. I couldn't tell from talking to Pam whether they're home or not, but his heart is functioning at a very, very low level. It's a very dire time for them. Please pray for Steve and for Pam as well. I just think we've got all these needs in our church, and we are a praying church, and we need to be aware so that we can pray with intention. I sat there and watched this, and I saw those baptisms, and all I could think was, God, this church is needed. You know, we have a function, we have a responsibility, we have a purpose. So please just remember those prayers, those needed prayers, to build up those.
Thank you. Adventure and experience and faith-changing trip with us. Thank you for sharing that. And yes, we do want to remember everyone in prayer that Kim has mentioned. And as we go today, just remember, God is faithful. God is always with us. And peace of Christ be unto you as you go.
because
She's